Okay, this is for homework 4.7. This is the back side of the page. So it's a side where you have just one problem with some examples that show you how to solve the problem. So the problem is the floor of a canyon has an elevation of negative 15 feet. Erosion causes the elevation to change by 2 feet per year. How many years will it take for the canyon floor to have an elevation of negative 31 feet? Well, in order to see how to do this problem, I think it's helpful to look carefully at the example that's given on the page. In the example, which is a completely different problem, but you're going to solve it the same way, Terry has $5 and earns $10 for each lawn she mows. If she wants to buy a jacket that costs $80, how many lawns must she mow? So your directions really at the very top of the page are to write and solve two-step equations to find the answer to these problems. So even though you can probably solve this in your head, you're being asked to write an equation. So that means that we have a variable and an expression that's equal to an amount. So how many lawns does she have to mow in order to have $80? Well, she already has $5, and then she's going to be earning $10 a certain number of times, and that has to be equal to or greater than $80. So I'm just going to say that it's equal to $80. Right? If she earns more than $80, that's fine, but she has to at least earn $80. She cannot earn less than that. So she already has $5, and then she's going to add that to the amount of money she earns, which is $10 a certain amount of times, but we don't know how many times. We know it's $10 some amount of times. We're going to multiply 10 times some amount. So I'm going to multiply 10 times x, meaning she has $5 plus $10 x amount of times. We have to figure out how many times she needs to earn $10. So we're going to solve for x. Our goal is to isolate the variables. So step 1 is to reverse any subtraction or addition. So I'm adding 5 here, so I'm going to subtract 5. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So then I'm left with 10x equals 80 minus 5 is 75. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 10 because my goal is to isolate the variable. So I get x equals 75 divided by 10 is 7.5. So she needs to mow 7.5 lawns to earn enough money. But nobody's going to hire you to mow half of their lawn, so she's going to need to mow 8 lawns. Okay, so in the problem that you have today, you're going to set up an equation similar to this. Okay. So the floor of a canyon has an elevation of negative 15 feet. That means the floor of the canyon is lower than sea level. Erosion causes the elevation to change by negative 2 feet per year. So that means erosion means that the land is being moved away and it's causing the floor of the canyon to get lower. How many years will it take for the canyon floor to get to negative 31 feet? So it's going to move from negative 15 feet to negative 31 feet. So ultimately, we know that we need to have a negative 31 feet when we're all done. We need to be at a negative 31 feet. How many feet do we need to get to negative 31 feet? Well, we're already at negative 15 feet down. And we need to add something to that 15 to get to negative 31. So we drop by negative 2 feet per year. So how many years do we need to drop negative 2 feet? We don't know, so we're going to multiply that by a variable. I'll use n in this case. So now I have my equation, and let's think about what this means. I'm at negative 15 feet. I'm going to continue to drop by -2 feet every year for a certain amount of years until I'm at -31 feet. So now I'm going to solve this using my rules for solving equations. Step 1 is to reverse any addition or subtraction. Well, here I'm subtracting 15, so the reverse of that would be to add 15. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So then on here I'm left with a -2n equals -13 plus 15. So I have to use my rules for adding integers. Do I have more negative or more positive? I have more negative because I have -31. So my answer is going to be negative. How many more do I have? I have 16 more. Now I'm going to divide both sides by -2. So I have n equals 16 divided by -2. So my rules for multiplying and dividing integers are that if both signs are the same, my answer is positive, and if the signs are different, my answer is negative. Well, I have a -16 divided by a -2, so my signs are the same, so my answer is going to be positive. So that means that I have that the elevation has to change by 8 feet. So it's going to lose 8 feet in elevation per year. Okay, now on the main side of the homework, we have the problem: a container holds 60 fluid ounces. If 36 ounces are spilled, what percent of the liquid remains? So what we need to find out is either what percent of 60 is 36 ounces, so 36 ounces equals what percent of 60, or they're not asking us how much spilled. I mean, we know 36 ounces spilled, and we could find out that percent, but what we really want to know is what percent of the liquid remains. So the first thing I'm going to do is find out how many ounces are left in the container. So let me just draw it so it's clear what we're doing here. So the whole container, when it's full, holds 60 ounces. And we know that 36 ounces got spilled. So I'll draw that kind of at the top. This is 36 ounces got spilled. And so how many ounces are left in here? Well, to find that, I'm going to subtract 36 from 60. There's 24 ounces in here still. Okay, so my proportions are not very good, but really we're just looking at the numbers. So I need to know then if 24 ounces are still in the can, what percent is that equal to? So I need to set up a proportion. Working with percent, so it's part over whole. I always put 100 here, and I don't know what percent is still in the can. I know when the can is full, the whole amount is 60, so 60 ounces is equivalent to 100%, and we want to know what our part is, 24. So there's 24 ounces still in the can. What percent is that equal to? So I'll solve by cross multiplication. So I get 2400 is equal to 60x. I'm going to divide both sides by 60. So x equals 4. 40. So that means that 24 is equal to 40%. There's 40% of the liquid still in, and then I also know that 60% spilled out. Okay, and problem number 2, this is actually problem number 2. A container holds 80 fluid ounces. If 24 ounces are spilled, what percent of the liquid remains? So again, let's just draw a tank here, and holds altogether 80 ounces. Okay, 24 ounces got spilled out. So that's almost a quarter of it. 24 ounces got spilled out. So how many ounces are still in the tank? Well, we'll have to subtract 24 from 80. So there's still 56 ounces in the tank. So remember, these are ounces, and what we're looking for are percents. Okay, so we're going to set up a part over whole. We're looking for the percent. If 80 is our whole amount and 56 is the part of the amount that we're looking for, we'll cross multiply, and x times 80 is 80x is equal to 5,600. We divide both sides by 80. We see that 5,600 divided by 80 is 70. So that tells us that 56 ounces is equivalent to 70%. So there's still 70% of the liquid in the container. Okay, in problem 3, we have a container that holds 50 fluid ounces. If 32 ounces are spilled, what percent of the liquid remains? So I already have the illustration up. There's a tank that holds 50 ounces altogether. That means that if it's full, it is holding 50 ounces, it's 100% full. We are told that 32 ounces have spilled out, and they want to know what percent is still in the can. So in order to find out what percent it is, we need to know how many ounces that is. So if it's 50, it holds 50 ounces when it's full, and you spilled 32 ounces, you're going to subtract. So you get 18 ounces. So that means that it has 18 ounces left in it, and we need to know what percent that is. So we'll set up our proportion, part over whole. We don't know what the percent is. We know that the whole amount is equal to 50 and part is 18. We're going to cross multiply, and we get 1,800 equals 50x. We divide both sides by 50. And 1,800 divided by 50 is 36 equals x. So that means there's 36 ounces, or 36% of the liquid remains in the container, and that's equal to 18 ounces. Okay, in problem 4, a container holds 70 ounces. If 35 ounces are spilled, what percent of the liquid remains? So if 35 ounces got spilled and it holds 70 ounces when it's full, when it's 100% full, it holds 70 ounces, how many ounces are still in the tank? So I will subtract 35 from 70, and that is equal to 35. So there are still 35 ounces in the tank. Some of you might see a quick way to solve this right away, but if not, we'll keep working at it. We need to know what is 35 ounces equal to as a percent. So if the whole amount is 70 ounces and the part of the amount is 35 ounces, what percent is that equal to? So I'm going to set my proportion up, part over whole. This is 100. We don't know what the part of the percent is. We know the whole amount of liquid is 70, and we know the part of the percent is 35. Cross multiply. So we get 3,500 is equal to 70x. We divide both sides by 70. And x equals